Howdy, Dennis Bradford here. Let's think some about being, feeling, and doing better. How are you doing emotionally? Let's take stock. If you've been watching one of these trainings daily, you've been at it for a little over a month. Presumably, you did that so you could understand how to reduce or eliminate emotional distress in order to increase emotional well-being. You have, I hope, learned and begun using either the emotional humility or the Peacefulness Process method to begin dissolving unwanted emotions when they occur. You have also, I hope, begun daily aliveness awareness or zazen if you weren't already doing some effective practice to prevent unwanted emotions from arising in the first place. If you are now using each of those two kinds of practices, you've already begun feeling calmer emotionally. It's impossible not to. I hope, too, that you've really begun to understand the nature of emotions and why those practices work. If you're using each of those two kinds of practices every day, your watching these videos has been a successful endeavor. Congratulations! Your new and improved behavior is also beginning to have a subtle but positive effect on those around you, too. You're beginning to demonstrate to them how to live well emotionally. If you're not yet practicing, for your own sake and the sake of your loved ones, please begin without further delay. There's nothing more you need to understand. Commit to it for 30 days. At the end of that time, do an honest evaluation. You can always quit practicing, but I'm confident that you won't want to quit. As I explain in Introduction to Living Well, if you're practicing properly every day, you'll not only begin to live better emotionally, but also you'll begin to live better morally, in other words, in terms of your interpersonal relationships, and spiritually. The benefits with respect to your emotional well-being, your relationships, and your spiritual well-being all come from the same source, namely ego reduction, which is detachment from self-centeredness or egocentricity. All the sages assure us of that. The more we let go of clinging to our egos, the better we live emotionally, morally, and spiritually. That's exactly what sages do. That's exactly how sages become sages. Remember, sages don't have any problems. None. Zero. Nada. How would you like to live like that? The good news is that there's nothing stopping you except ignorance. If you've watched and understood these videos, you've seriously improved your understanding about emotions. You've already eliminated a lot of ignorance. Ignorance is like that. It's curable. You don't need more conceptual understanding to know what to do to live better emotionally. If you really understand what to do, you're already practicing daily. The daily practice will reinforce the understanding, and the understanding will reinforce the daily practice. What, though, if you want more than just emotional well-being? There's more to be understood. Would you like to understand more? If so, please continue watching the videos in this series. I do my best to explain a lot more about how to live even better. The theory is for the sake of practice, of living better every day. To paraphrase Kant, theoretical wisdom without practical wisdom is empty, and practical wisdom without theoretical wisdom is blind. If you really understand what is good for you, you'll do it. Socrates is famous in part because he made that claim. For him, there's no such thing as moral backsliding. If, for example, you really understand that, say, quitting smoking cigarettes is good for you, you'll quit. If you really understand that, say, failing to practice aliveness awareness, zazen, or some similar bodily practice daily is bad for you, you'll practice daily. Do you believe that the purpose of the world is to make you happy every day? If so, you'll be extremely disappointed. If you haven't already, you'll develop a fundamental attitude that is negative. Every time you solve some problem, another seems to replace it, doesn't it? You just get out of debt financially, and your beloved mother or child dies. You just recover from a major surgery, and your spouse wants a divorce. You just connect with the lover of your dreams, and your uninsured car gets totaled. Here's how the world works. It keeps challenging you. If you fail to pass a test, it will keep testing you in the same way until you either die or do better. As soon as you pass one test, it'll soon throw you another. So, if you believe that the purpose of the world is to challenge you, to encourage you to keep growing, if you haven't already, you'll develop a fundamental attitude that is positive. Relish the challenges. Embrace change and growth. Trying to stay stuck never works well for long. If you practice daily as I recommend, your emotional life will not only improve, but it will continue to improve. Why stop there? There's much more to life than dealing with our emotions. So, if you want more understanding in order to live better, terrific. Keep watching. If you're satisfied with your progress for the moment and want to take a break, come back when you're ready. If you've failed to practice after improving your understanding of emotional well-being, then my recommendation is to begin practicing and watch these initial 30-plus videos again. Don't just take it out in good intentions. You have what it takes to flourish emotionally, if you'll discover what to do and then do it. You also have what it takes to flourish in other ways as well. In the next video, I draw your attention to a fundamental distinction of reason that may open up for you a whole new way of looking at life. Let's end emotional distress.